up, YouTube? I'm back with another live stream. Hold on. Back with another live stream. This is going to be a summary of my post, the things I've been posting about. Just going to be going through it. It's just going through a post, just going through a bunch of posts and talking about most of the things I've been talking about. But I would like to start this live stream off is a lot of take the test are $400 plus. I'm not involved in any organizations. I don't know any other targeted individuals on here. No one is paying me, or I'm not coming on here for any type of compensation to say trigger words to other targets. Just me, I'm just me. A lot of take the test are $400 plus. That's a good way to, weave out the fakes and the real. But let's get to the live stream. Okay, so I'm just gonna be going through my post. My bad if I take a minute. You can just skip ahead. My bad. But I'm trying to find out where I'm starting at for my post. Just a second. Trying to find exactly where I'm starting at. Hold on. Oh, I got a long one. All right, so as a targeted individual, they want you to care what people think when people are known not to think. They want you walking in places and worried about what a person's thinking about you. People are known not to think. They're known not to think. People don't think. So they want you walking in places, just paranoid, thinking that all eyes are on you. You know what I'm saying? That's how they want you thinking. And it's not the truth. Far from the truth. No one actually cares. It's going on. Gang stalking going on, but the people that's behind it are the ones that you should be worried about, which meaning you shouldn't be messed up. You shouldn't be mentally messed up in a setting around a bunch of people. And it bothers me. That type of stuff bothers me. Because people be mentally affected by people that's around them because it's gang stalkers around you, but they don't know what to look for. The people that's the handlers that's sending them, they banking on you thinking that they know what they looking for. Like like perpetrators know what they looking for. Like they know psychological tactics. They know how somebody's being psychologically affected. You feel what I'm saying? They don't know how to do that, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Because first off, they don't know of the surveillance factor. Surveillance factor really the surveillance factor of targeting in life, it really just changes it changes life. It changes life because you don't know who it is at first. I talk about that a lot. But it changes life. The surveillance factor changes life. Like it changes stuff. People don't know. Like it changes the way you speak. Once you know you're being surveilled, like people think of these technologies, right? They know these technologies. They think these technologies exist. They don't know they're being used. You know what I'm saying? Like people run around like yeah, I done had conversations with random people I done had conversations with random people about phone cameras being able to be hacked and watched through and things like that. I've had these regular, things like that. Like phones being able to be hacked and like phone cameras being able to be hacked. Like things like that. Like I've had conversations with people about those type of topics and they don't they think that but their energy doesn't show it. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll think, oh yeah, yeah, they can see you through your phone camera, but their energy don't show it. That should make you uncomfortable. You wanna know why? Because they don't know that technology is being used. Once you know that technology is being used, once they start hitting you with these indirect conversations, tracking you, to dispatch these people, um, to your location to harass you, bro. Like that's what that is. You gotta understand that type of stuff, But like I said, I talk about the surveillance part a lot because it can mess you up. It becomes ego. You thinking the surveillance is like thinking the girl that like you and she don't. You feel what I'm saying? You thinking of surveillance in a way that everybody is looking at you, is moving around thinking like a girl like you and she don't. Like you trying to move like the girl like you. You know what I'm saying? If you get what I'm saying, like that's how that stuff like they can control you. You know, if you get what I'm saying, like you have to be on point. Like you have to be on point. Like they can that's how they can control you. It's like thinking. It's like not being able to think. You feel what I'm saying? If you don't know who's watching you, you're in a delusion. If you don't know who your audience is, you're in a delusion. You're trying to prove yourself to a person you think watching you. That's a what does that what does that mean? That's a delusion, right? You trying to prove yourself. You trying to prove yourself to a person that you think watching you. That's a delusion, right? You feel what I'm saying? Like you trying to prove yourself to a person that you think like you. Like that's a delusion, bro. Like that's a real delusion. You're gonna find out that person don't even like you. Like that's a delusion. That's just an example, but it's a delusion. You have to understand these things. Hold on, while I pour up. Not trying to influence either, but like I said, they're trying to chase you into a busy road. I make up the best examples and analogies of this stuff because I can see it. All you have to do is look into stuff. Psychological method to everything. You gotta look into the psychological method of everything. If it'll cause that, that's probably why it's happening. You know, certain stuff. But hold on, just a second, so I get back right back in the post. It's gonna be a long live stream, so just wait. On there soon. But yeah, back into the post. Like I don't like talking about the surveillance aspect. It's really nothing to talk about when it's really nothing to talk about when you know who's doing it. And but I'm not going to stop. But it's nothing to talk about when you know who's doing it. But I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. But that also suggests that people don't think of others. Somebody sees you once, the next 10 seconds their mind is on something else, bro. You gotta understand we're civilians, citizens, not shame public figures. Like they're not trying to, like that's not what's true. Nobody knows us, bro. And in gang stalking, that's what they try to make you think. Everybody knows you. Everybody watching you on the TV through a secret camera, hidden camera. And that's my main focus, bro, because it's not true. But I need to stop talking about it because it's like, well, that specifically, I know I get it's repetitive, but that knocks out a bunch of the targeting. It completely removes it. It don't completely remove it, but it gets rid of most targeting. Like just knowing who's doing it is like okay, it's like a joke. Like, that's a joke. The problem comes when you think that everyone is focused. The problem comes when you think everyone is focused on your life. That's what I'm reading. The problem comes when you think everyone is focused on your life, and they will try to make you. They're going to desperately try to make you think that everyone is focused on your life, bro. Desperately. If you don't, you have to logically. You feel what I'm saying? You have to logically. You have to get stuff logically, bro. It will drive you insane and ultimately control your body and movements if you think that way, trying to impress people you think know you. An example is not making a cup of coffee at 6:30 when you home alone because 6:30 is a game that is in your favorite artist's beef or something. You feel what I'm saying? A better example is not driving in the same lane on the highway as a certain car because that car is being discussed on social media associated with something nobody likes, and you also think you're being surveilled through the dashboard of your vehicle. What could that cause? Wow, you're also being surveilled through the dashboard of your vehicle. What could that cause? You will never see the people that actually think about you. You'll only see the people that those people dispatch. I know what they display in your environment to convince you, but it's a dangerous delusion not thinking that you're alone. So you're taking that everywhere you go. The cashier at the store knows you, knows you just used the bathroom. The cashier at the store knows you just used the bathroom before you go to the store to you. Dangerous delusion. I also thought that way for years. Love delusions, lust delusions, fame delusions, manufactured through cyber harassment and everyday life. Induced through a program that wants you to think everything you see in here is about you. The worst part is that they want you to think that others think that everything they say and do is about you. Example, a news channel says something that's embarrassing without your name in it. They want you to think that people in the public think it was targeted toward you. Yeah, yeah. That's what they want you to think. You then act in that way, mannerism changes on approach because you believe a person has somehow already heard of you and you don't sit and think, hey, well, I'm not famous. You're literally a citizen. You can't be known. Nobody really gossips in large groups about people they've never seen before that aren't on TV or famous. I have found this to be something to brag about. Most people sad without. That logically is a delusion that a program under a three-letter agency is controlling. Logically. Logically. You know, that's, you know, like that's logically, bro. Like this is what that is. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's, fuck ups has been documented, bro, from people that ain't supposed to fuck up. So, that just is what it is. I get on here and speak about it. You can feel bad. You can feel bad. Feel bad. Feel bad. Feel bad. Don't matter to me. You shouldn't be listening to me. All right. So, Target. I know they told you to wear that color. The Target goes right. I know they told you to wear that color because you know such and such happened. random or perp citizen. What? What happened? Random or perp citizen? What happened? What happened? That perp citizen draws a weapon on you for asking about a color, and it's not about a game. That perp citizen draws a weapon on you for asking about a color or a headlight. You know what I'm saying? Calm down. Calm down. Like, bro, like that's not just the government. You're trying to fight the government. Laugh at them. You know how you win? They informants. Perps on the street. That's how you win. You're trying to fight people that are working for the government. You're trying to fight people that are working for the FBI, bro, in plain clothes. Bro, laugh at them. Ignore them. Don't respond to nothing they say. Are you tripping? Oh, you ain't know. My bad. You thought it was a cult. My bad. My bad. Oh, you thought it was a cult. You thought everything was a cult. My bad. But ain't nothing the cop ain't involved in. Now, that one headlight thing, the same thing could happen. I have a story about a bent license plate as well. During a time, I was heavily reading into license plates, thinking that they were sending me certain messages through the letters. And me being mad about not being able to see a specific license plate because they bent the metal to where you could only see the numbers. I tried to take a pic of the bent plate, and the driver got out with a weapon. Dangerous delusions. So I was basically at a gas station. I was basically doing DoorDash driving, and then a dude turned into a gas station. I was following him because I seen a bent license plate. That was the first time I seen it. I couldn't see the three letters in the license plate, so I was trying to get a picture of it so I could post it on YouTube. It's probably like 2022, 2021, 2022. I was trying to take a picture of it so I could post it on YouTube. So he seen me trying to do that. The motherfucker gets out the car with a. He seen me trying to do that. The dude gets out the car with a. Dude gets out the car with the. Get out the car with a gun. You know, he got out the car with a gun. And, you know, I completely. I diffused the situation though. Like I diffused the situation. Like I told him like, my bad. And I paid for his gas. But yeah, yeah, for real. Like yeah, that went on. But yeah, you gotta be smart, bro. Like just think about this. I'm gonna repeat that story once again. I have a story about a bent license plate as well. During a time I was heavily reading into license plates, thinking that they were sending me certain messages through the letters. And me being mad about not being able to see a specific license plate because they bent the metal to where you could only see the numbers. I tried to take a pic of the bent plate, and the driver got out with a weapon. Dangerous delusions. And when the driver got out with a weapon, I defused the situation. He asked to pay for gas. He asked me to pay for his gas. I did. So it wasn't for no, you know, like a scary. It wasn't a scary situation. It was just like it was just off of, hey, we're just a regular person. He probably was really just. He did explain he was running from the police or something. Like he probably was just, that's probably what that was. He probably was trying to hide his plate. But that was just weird. And I tried to take a picture of it. That shit didn't go right. It didn't go right. That chit chat didn't go right. But I'm going to the next post. You need to understand when you're being targeted and understand when a random citizen in public or anyone else is being manipulated. Start using your logic, you know? Um, yeah, you need to understand when you're being targeted. Whether it's a random citizen or anybody in public, you need to understand when you're being targeted and being manipulated. Start using your logic, you know? Use your logic in every situation. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Like, just use your logic in pretty much every situation. Every situation. Which means, dang, can a car have one headlight? It sure can. You know what I'm saying? Dang, can a bunch of cars have one headlight because they have two headlights and one is able to go out? They sure can. You feel me? This is how you have to start thinking, bro. I'm 6 years into targeting. No, 8 years into targeting. This is how you have to think. Dang, can people wear a red shirt all at the same time? Sure can. You feel what I'm saying? This is how you have to think. This would make me want to like forget even talking about it. But no, I can't. I can't stop talking about this. And I don't want people like thinking like you know, like I don't want people thinking, you know. So I can't stop talking about this. Like I don't want people. Like, there's nothing else to do. I might start a podcast about something else, but that's something else. Um, like that's the importance. Like, bro, y'all forgetting the importance. Like, it makes me so mad, bruh. Like, bruh, like I know you want everybody to be caring about you. I know that's how I know that's how it looked when it started, but that's not what's going on, bruh. I know that's how it looked when it started, bruh. I know that's how it looked when it started. Um, you know what I'm saying? I know that's how it looked when it started, bro. I know that's how it looked when it started. Like it looked like man, it looked like everybody was in your business. Like people was watching you while you sleep. You feel what I'm saying? I know, bro. That's not the truth though. That stuck with me for around 4 years of me thinking that everybody was watching, and then I stopped caring, and then I realized only the people with that technology is, and that technology, no matter how they try to make it seem like it's all in the public, that technology is not something they want people into. Surveillance is not something they want to be a research study for everybody. Especially for citizens, bro. You know, yeah, and it's basically don't shoot the messenger. Pause. I'm not saying I'm sending you a message before I say what I'm about to say. It's basically don't shoot the messenger. They don't want you to think that the perpetrators are just messengers, but better yet, insulters. They want you to believe that you're confronting your bully every day. Like a gang has a personal problem with you. You feel what I'm saying? Like a gang has a personal problem with you. No. Class one, psychological methods and directed conversations. They do that because they know from hearing just one directed conversation, even though they'll continue to do it, you will go out the rest of your life listening to hear if someone is trying to speak to you through their conversation with others that doesn't directly involve you. That's happening for the rest of your life. This mental state does not stop, however. There is a skill. It starts high and effective. It becomes more ignorable. It becomes more ignorable without the ability to return to a it becomes more ignorable without the ability to return to a tactic that annoys you. You know, getting to that level takes confirming the organization that is attacking you, three-letter agencies. You found out a nerd is bullying you. It becomes extremely ignorable. It does. It definitely does. Psychological methods and directed conversations. They do that because they know from hearing just one directed conversation, even though they continue to do this. Now, just from hearing one directed conversation, I wouldn't say just one directed conversation. I would say multiple directed conversations. It take multiple, but it take like less than five for you to just be looking around. Like it take like less than five directed conversations within like a week for you to just be looking around. Like okay, that's forever. They doing that shit on purpose. Now you gonna be looking for every. You gonna be listening for everybody word. And what I'm gonna tell you what that is. I'm gonna tell you what that's called. Manufactured schizophrenia, bro. They have you listening. They tracked you around, harassed you, just to do directed conversations in front of you, and they have you listening to that stuff. Now you listening to everybody's conversation. Everywhere you go now, you listening for every word. You have been manufacturing mental illness that you cannot remove that. Schizophrenia now, you have schizophrenia, you can't remove it. You can't. That's the schizophrenia you can't remove. I found that I found that out yesterday. Like, yep. Cause I'm sitting there listening, like my parent, like they was upstairs speaking on the phone, and I got the TV up loud, but I'm sitting there just listening to every word that they say. I'm trying to like, and it's like it's telling me something. You feel what I'm saying? I think they trying to tell me something. They might not even be trying to say nothing to me. They might just really be on the phone. You feel what I'm saying? Like, real, yeah. So that's a manufactured schizophrenia, bro. Yeah. You might can get a check for that or something. I don't know, like, but yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. Like, that's definitely true. Manufactured schizophrenia. I can tell you one. I can tell you one mental illness that this does induce, and it's not going away. Manufactured schizophrenia. That's schizophrenia, and it's not even just with other people's conversation that you'll be messed up with, but that's the best example for it. But yeah, back to these posts. Yeah, so this just about it's just about helping people mental, bro. Like just pretty much stopping this program because it's a mental game. You can't do this to a civilian. It's impossible. You know, it's impossible. It's a mental game. You can't do that to a civilian. So I get on here. This shit is about. It's about helping others. That's what it's about. Breaking down these psychological methods, understanding, getting people to understand why they work, and the reason that I do that. I know I do that. You know what I'm saying? I know I break the psychological method down to what to how stuff working. Some advice vary, but most of it don't. I try not to give advice that vary. I try not to give advice that vary. At least I try not to. You know, this is no longer. This is no longer. This is no longer abuse when you realize who is targeting you and employing citizens to harass you and track you. You realize that a pet dog was pistol whipping you. Take the weapon away. Go hold up these people, informants. A citizen hold up these people. Now you go hold up these people, informants, and a citizen defined as an unknown person being harassed by other citizens. 100% they're definitely informants. Complete reverse of reality. I don't even know why I'm typing right now. Oh, that's what it is. I care. I binge this content. Y'all on here crying about informant harassment as if they aren't informants, like they cool, like they a cool cult or something. Man, they some cops, citizens on patrol, employed under a handler or third party company connected to some agencies with three letters connected to law enforcement. For sure. This is not a criminal network. Criminal networks do not operate in psychological warfare. Criminal networks do not operate in psychological warfare and surveillance. It's just not elite. They probably got something to where they frame of mischief by the law. What they're doing probably isn't illegal somewhere. We just ain't reading it. They frame of mischief by the law. It probably ain't illegal somewhere. Yeah, bro. But employed under they're employed, bro. They're being dispatched, bro. That's just what that is. Like, brother, the problem is, bro, I don't want freedom from this. It's nothing to be released from. This is a boost. You feel what I'm saying? It's a boost. And it ain't. You say, "Oh, I'm saying that because I already have a certain financial status," and it's not. It's not. With my financial status, I still downgrade myself. My financial status, I still go stay in the shelter with money. You know, I guess when you start to think about it, though, it's like that's like a play a little bit, but it's not. You just gotta ignore these tactics, bro. I'm saying to ignore street theater tactics, meaning, and this one reading from my post. This is just a summary of my YouTube post. I'm saying to ignore street theater tactics, meaning all tactics of group stalking and gang stalking when both sides, meaning you and the perpetrator of gang stalking, will determine plausible deniability. You get harassed by a number, for example. You're waiting in line at the store. The store employee says that number for a purchase made by a customer in front of you. Ignore it. I lost a form of physical ability and realized that's what mentally strengthened me. Not being able to get physical activated my mental. Listen to me sometimes. My advice usually doesn't vary. This section will be added to the class live stream soon, maybe tomorrow morning. That was yesterday. But, that's just an example of, the schizophrenia that was manufactured through you. You know. But yeah, once you know who's doing this stuff, it sounds like once I come on here correcting people, it sounds purpose, But I'm not gonna tell you something that's gonna destroy you. And bro, telling you that your ex is looking through your phone camera, everybody focused on you, that's designed to destruction. And no one's trying to talk to you. They ain't none of them people trying to talk to you. I'm not saying I don't know that. I'm just saying, if none of those people trying to talk to you, no one watching you through your phone camera, nothing like that. You feel what I'm saying? But that type of thinking is going to lead you to destruction, especially if you have an ego. And if you do have that type of thinking, that means you have an ego. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if my ex see me running down the street butt naked. Not one of them. You feel what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't give. Why would you care? You know. But yeah, this is no longer abuse once you realize who's doing it. I mean, it is. you they don't forget they did hand you a mental illness. You feel what I'm saying? Like you're now listening to every conversation that someone has, bro. Every word that somebody says for the rest of your life, you gonna be thinking it's gang stalking, bro. Years down the line. I can tell you that now. That's just what that is, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I guess you weren't supposed to wake up to certain shit. So you just wake up to it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Dang. Oh, I hope y'all ain't hear that part. I just went. Uh, my bad. But I was on the phone with my baby mom. We was handling the child support situation. But but yeah, um,
Yeah.
fucking rude. But that is a rude person. But yeah. Oh, let me see. I guess I was off this live for like 7 minutes. Yeah, I was off live for like 7 minutes. Guess I can't go live. I'll stay live. I'll stay live. Yeah. But yeah, back to that topic, bro. Like, you don't get the psychological method, bro. You don't. This is a real topic. Back to the topic. You don't get the psychological method, bro. Okay, you start off targeting, right? You start off being gang stalked, right? You thinking the first thing you run across, not even just cause of, not just cause of people YouTube channels saying it, right? Not just cause of people YouTube channels saying it, but the first thing you run across gang stalking and targeting, the first culprit that you identify as it being, I believe it'll start with a logo on the back of a vehicle. That's how it started for me. It started with me thinking, me seeing a Freemasonic logo sticker on the back of a vehicle, and me being gang stalked. Plus me hearing it from others that it's Freemasons and stuff like that. It made me very argumentative. Psychological method. Because when you involve Freemason in cult, when you involve Freemason in cults as a part of being a part of somebody's harassment, um, you make that person argumentative because you put that person um, like around, you put that person around a bunch of people, and you can't identify those people. The problem is you can't identify those people in those cults. So you run around thinking that, oh, is this regular cool looking person? Is this person? Is this beautiful girl? Is this person? You can't identify them instead of you identifying them as them being law enforcement. Because if you consider them informants, you wouldn't be angry. You wouldn't become um, argumentative. You wouldn't become argumentative. You know, you wouldn't become argumentative if you not believe, but just knew that it was law enforcement. It was three-letter agencies, third party, third party companies. It's a psychological method. You know, it's a psychological method because it's going to make you angry. You become argumentative. You'll become argumentative. Like you thinking that it's models. Um, you thinking that it's street dudes that dress nice. They all with the girls and they laughing at you. They all watching you and laughing at you. You feel that's how you that's for real. Like I'm not lying. This is literally how I was thinking. This is how multiple targets think. Oh, they talking about you. You feel what I'm saying? Some of the targets I listen to even, you know, they right about most things. Like, but you know, like Yeah, they are talking about you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they are talking. Like, shout out to positivity, and multiple other targets I listen to. Like, yeah, bro, they all talking about you. They are talking about you, but it's not the people that you see in public. They don't care. You feel what I'm saying? So when you think it's the people that's in public, like you think they have a personal, like you think they going home personally just hating you and nah, bro, it's the handlers. They really hate you. The people that you don't see, they hate you. You feel what I'm saying? Like that makes sense. Not random people that's part of some network. Just think how your hate work. You know what I'm saying? How does your hate work? You gotta keep it real with yourself. How your hate work? You see how theirs work. You hated before. Keep it real. So how does your hate work? And you'll see how they hate work. You'll see how someone can like it's a thing, like it's a psychological method. Hey, if I had this amount of money and I could put this, I could control this person's environment. Hey, I can make this person angry with resources. So that's what you have to understand. You know. So, but yeah, I'm back sober from weed, so I'll be back posting multiple. Where I realized that the amount of money I spent on weed this month, like in the past like 3 months, I could have bought a used car, and I wasn't just smoking weed for like 2 months. I was just doing great. So that's gonna stop for a while, because like, or at least until I have a job to where I have I can't be smoking weed during the job. So okay, I'm saving the weed, but I was smoking like 14 grams in a day, like a half in a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I spent at least like 3,000 like within the past 2 months, or 2,000 within the past 2 months on weed. That could have been a used car. And all the weed gone. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's like all of it. Like I'm like, you know, just from being able to, just from being able to smoke in a house. When I'm at a shelter, I can't smoke inside, so I smoke less. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a half instead of having a half for a day. I probably have a half for over 2 weeks if I was working and staying at a shelter. That's another thing about ego. You know, people don't want to stay in places like that. People don't want people to know they stay in places like that. And it's beautiful when you can just understand that that doesn't matter. You can move out of that place. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I just got a random call from my baby mom during the live. I missed like 10 minutes of the live stream. And it wasn't on purpose. It was a Zoom court yesterday for child support. So she just called just out of nowhere because of that. So I know it wasn't because I'm on live or nothing like that. Plus, don't you know how the movies is, but they want to make you seem like a whistleblower, fight or flight. They want to chase you into a busy road. They want to make you seem like a whistleblower for getting on YouTube and talking to people, and this stuff doesn't reach um, anyone that isn't a target. It doesn't reach anyone that isn't a target or looking into targeting, as if they feel is being targeted. So they want to chase you into a busy road like the movies. You know, oh, that's a whistleblower. In that movie, they chasing that person down for something. That person is doing all type of stuff. They trying to chase you into a busy road. You know, in a movie when somebody getting chased, you know, in a movie, it's in. I can say in a movie. I ain't even gotta say the specific movie. You know, in a movie when somebody ain't no real chase, bro. It's a fake chase, and they want you to say stuff like that. But you know how somebody getting chased in a movie, and I can say in a movie, like, because it's in multiple movies. Somebody's getting chased in a movie, right? And all of a sudden, they run into a road, and what happens when you run into a road happens to them in that movie. That's what they're trying to do to you in every situation. They're trying to chase you into a road. They're trying to chase you into a busy street mentally. So these things you have to understand. It comes from understanding the psychological methods. And with that being said, it's about a 45-minute live stream. I know I missed a few. Like I got off live for like 10 minutes because my baby mother called me. But that's the end of this live. I might be live tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, I'm back drinking and only, so I'm back on the board. All right, peace out.